Hi everyone, this is Inspired Beautiful. Clutter isn't always about having too much. Sometimes it's about carrying more than we were meant to carry, emotionally, mentally, or energetically. If you've ever looked around your space and felt tired instead of motivated, this conversation is for you. Not to fix anything, not to declutter your life in a day, just to understand what clutter can quietly do to how we feel and think. Clutter isn't a character flaw. It isn't laziness, and it isn't a lack of discipline. Often, clutter forms during seasons of grief, survival, caregiving, emotional overload, or transition. When life demands more from us, our energy goes toward getting through, not maintaining order. So if clutter showed up in your life, it may simply be evidence that you were doing your best with what you had. The unseen cost of clutter. Even when you're not actively thinking about it, clutter competes for your attention, creates low-level stress, reminds us of unfinished decisions, and keeps us mentally on call. It can make rest harder because the mind never fully settles. Not because the space is wrong, but because it's asking something of you when you're already tired. Our environment affects our nervous system more than we realize. When a space feels crowded or unresolved, the body stays slightly alert, scanning, postponing, and bracing. That doesn't mean the space needs to be perfect. It means your system may be craving ease, not effort. Sometimes clarity doesn't come from organizing more, but from reducing what demands your attention. A gentle question, not a task. Instead of asking, why can't I get this together? Try asking, what feels heavy in this space? What reminds me of something unresolved? What feels neutral? And what feels charged? You don't need to act on the answers. Awareness alone often brings relief. Letting go without pressure. Letting go doesn't always mean throwing things away. Sometimes it means putting something out of sight, giving yourself permission to decide later. Acknowledging that a season has passed. Clarity grows when pressure is removed. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to live in spaces that support who you are now, not who you used to be. Clutter as information, not failure. Clutter tells a story about what mattered, about what was postponed, about what you didn't have the capacity to process at the time. Listening to that story with kindness changes everything. This isn't about control. It's about alignment between your space and your inner life. When and if you feel ready, here are a few gentle ways to reduce clutter at your own pace. Return things to where they belong when you can, not as a rule, but as a kindness to your future self. Putting something away when you're able can prevent small piles from quietly becoming mental weight. Create one simple release space. A box or bag labeled donate gives unused items somewhere to go without requiring a decision every time. You don't have to decide today. Just choose not to hold on to everything. Work in small timed moments. 15 or 20 minutes is enough. One drawer, one surface, stopping before you're exhausted helps your nervous system associate clearing space with relief, not overwhelm. Let new things replace more than they add. When something new enters your space, consider letting one or two older items leave. This keeps your environment from slowly becoming heavier over time. Protect flat surfaces. Clear counters, tables, and floors. Create immediate visual calm. Even one open surface can help your mind feel less crowded. Touch paper once, if possible. When mail or documents come in, sort them right away. Discard what isn't needed, recycle what you can, and place important items where they belong. Fewer paper piles mean fewer lingering decisions. These are not rules, they're options. Take what supports you and leave the rest. You don't need a system, you don't need a timeline, and you don't need to be better to begin. Even one small shift, physical or mental, can create more breathing room. Clarity doesn't arrive all at once. It settles in quietly when we stop pushing ourselves to be ready. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Moving at your own pace is allowed here. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.